Hey, Dave.
All right.
Jim.
And we are live. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I'm your host, Robert Michaels. I'm here and you're here, and we're going to have a great time tonight. It is open topic. Oh, yes, it's going to be a good one. Tonight's show is brought to you by ppgzone.com. Josh Perry runs this organization. It is an online resource for paragliding and paramotoring pilots. Go check it out. The website, again, is ppgzone.com. Go create a profile and say hello, and I will follow you on there. I will follow you. Also, the show is brought to you by Midwest Parajet. Go check out their website, midwestparajet.com. Also, PPG Smoke. If you're not in tune, guess what? We're giving away some big stuff. We're giving away a couple of motors, and it's looking like it's going to happen really soon. I'll keep you posted on that. If you want to know how you can get in on some of that action, you got to buy a headset. It's the PPG Smoke. What is it called again? Oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. Starts with an H.
Which one? What?
The headset. What's PPG Smoke's headset called? Gosh, I was on a roll too. But anyways, go check out the website, and they're right there on the front page.
You know what it is? It's because Craig. It's because Craig Taylor isn't in here. You see, if Craig Taylor was in here, you'd be on your A game. Well, I know, but
he's still at work.
You'd be on your A game because, you know, he's good. He's good at what he does. He makes it smooth and just like, ooh, you know.
He's digging pools right now. He doesn't have any time for anything else. He's got like 8 pools, and he has to be done before there's a deadline. Anyways, Unity headset, Justin. Thank you, Justin. Unity headset. You're amazing. Yeah, so this is how you can get when you buy one of those. You pre-order one, and you will get your name into the spinny wheel of Winnie Thinks, and you can get one. Also, the show is brought to you by paramotorprops.com. If you want to get a new prop because you blew one up, you can do it on their website, is paramotorprops.com. It's also One Up Paragliding. Did you know that? If you didn't know that, now you do. They sell all kinds of good stuff.
Unity does not start with an H. Just saying.
Say that one more time.
Unity does not start with an H.
Unity.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Unity.
My bad.
It does.
You see, if I had one of those, I would know the name of it, but I don't have one. So
I don't have one yet either. But
just a headset thingy. That's what I call it.
I'll tell Ryan he has to give us all one.
Yeah.
Round. I mean, remember how much stuff he gave the show?
Oh, right.
We did some math, and it was like 15 grand worth of stuff.
Yeah.
That he gave away. And that's not including the shipping. He had to ship some of this stuff overseas because we were giving away stuff like popcorn. Yeah, by the way, we're going to give some stuff away. So if you're in the chat and you're just lurking like a lurking Larry, make sure you say something, and then your name will go on the spinny wheel of Winnie Things. Also, this show is brought to you by paraorangeproducts.com. Larry and Chris made all kinds of great things to protect your gear. And you need some prop covers. You want a giant windsock? Oh, yeah, you do. Go check out their website, paraorangeproducts.com. Tonight's show is open topic. By the way, you are joined with moderators in staff tonight. Sean Nafsker, Jim Reeves is with us, Anthony Paragringo, and David Wolf. They're with us tonight. So we got a great lineup. I also sent out a couple other invites, so check your email. You might have got one too. And we're going to talk about some good stuff tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about some paramotoring, and we're also going to mention something that happened over the weekend. This activist flew into a stadium. Probably saw the video on Tucker's channel. I saw it before Tucker played it. I saw it on the internet because you know how it is. When you're a pilot, people send you stuff instantly. People that are not pilots, they have to send you whatever they see on social media. And so right away, as soon as that one hit, somebody sent me that. I'm like, oh my gosh, the guy hit the wire. So we're going to talk about that. If you haven't seen the video, you'll see it eventually. I'm not going to play it on here because they'll probably ding me for copyright or something like that. But you can look it up yourself. Guy flies into it's a France versus Germany soccer game. And I'm not going to mention the thing that he was being an activist for because I don't care. It's like the guy wanted the attention for that thing. He made the news. He almost died doing it. And so everybody's going to know about his thing. And so I'm not going to give him what he wants because he's trying to blow it for us flying people.
Yeah, that was pretty pretty jacked.
Electric paramotor. Oh, I saw something really funny the other day, and I have to mention this. It wasn't has nothing to do with paragliding. It was a car on the side of the road with a generator sitting next to it with a plug into it. And I was like, that's defeating the purpose.
You know, the thing that's interesting to me is you would think generally that there would be some type of guy wire or something for the top of that dome structure, so that way it'd be waterproof. You know what I mean? Like, common sense tells you there's something up there. There's should be something up there. Yes. And that's the thing. We all know better than that. So it's kind of like, why didn't this guy think about that?
We think we know what we're doing. We think.
Well, I certainly wouldn't be above a Thunderdome, okay? Or a dome. A Thunderdome or a dome or a, you know, one of those structure things. You know, I don't want nothing to do with structures.
Kyle Mooney's in the chat. What's up, Kyle?
Fly over
Mike S.
congested areas anyway, though, right?
One of my favorite moderators, by the way, is in the chat right now. Mike S. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He was actually one of the first moderators, if you guys don't know that.
He's gonna win the lottery. I know one of these days. He knows.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That'd make him a legend, right, Robert?
Yeah.
A
By the
legend.
way, laid back tonight. Laid back show. Just relax. Everybody, just dial it back. I know summer's here, and it's just amazing. Want to talk about that. So the guy comes flying in. He obviously didn't do his research, and comes swooping in, and he has this giant ball. I don't know what it was. It was just a ball, and I commented. I don't know how many likes I got on the comment, but I said, "This guy dropped the ball." That was my comment.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Right to the top.
See, I thought it was like a flag or something that he dropped, like, you know, just tossing it out or something. I didn't know that it was a ball or something.
Yeah, so
big ball with a message dropping into a soccer game.
Wow.
Yeah, he drops this deal, and then he goes kind of maybe 100 feet, maybe less, and he realizes, oh my gosh, there's a wire, and you see him lift up his feet, and he leans back, and he's like, ah! And it clips the motor. What you guys may not know is that actually a bunch of people got hurt because it was an electric paramotor, and I think the prop exploded at that moment, and a bunch of shrapnel peppered the people that were right in the line of fire.
You know, I hate
situation.
to use this terminology, Robert, but really, this is something that I remember.
What's up, Rib?
In a Kylo video. Don't go full retard, and that there is full retard. Okay,
Yeah,
you're hurting people. You're making stupid decisions.
Yes.
You know, that's not good.
The guy in his mind is justified. He did that for a cause. He's doing his thing. But there was a bunch of people that got hurt. Our sport took a hit. I don't know if you realize that, because now there's some regulatory stuff that's going to be implemented against the people over there. Who knows how it's going to end up? I mean, what a shame, right?
One guy was just trying to score a goal.
Goal.
Well, he wasn't fishing.
David,
Yes, sir.
did you see that video of me flying through the goals?
No.
I don't even know if it's legal, but Gringo showed me.
You can do it. It's all right.
Gringo taught me. He taught me everything I know
Great.
with paramotoring, pretty much.
You can fly through goals as long as you're not, you know,
Caught.
in
As long as
danger
you're
of
not
damaging
caught.
property or people.
If
As
I'm
long
a
as there are
horrible-
people around and it's wide
pissing
open.
off Tammy F.
You know,
Tammy, you watching tonight? Tammy, we love you.
Tammy's
That's a
watching
bucket.
tonight.
That's a bucket. That's a
Put the
bucket.
earplugs away.
That's a shinger, Robert. That's a
Tammy?
shinger. That's a cuss jar.
Did he cuss?
He
Ooh,
said the P word.
who did?
Yes.
Said Tammy.
He
Oh,
said the
yeah,
P
that's not a bad word. You can
And
say that.
oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But thank you for paying attention, being a good
I'm on
moderator.
top of it, man.
You're on
There was
top of it.
There was
I'm
a
about to
question
say the B
earlier.
word to you, Sean.
He's
Don't
got a
put
wrench
that
he's trying
B
to get
word.
Robert, there was a question. Who was that, Anthony? Asked if you did a set. Have you done a set on your paramotor yet?
Wait. First it's Sean. Now it's
Are you asking me?
taking over my job.
I got the wheel too. Did you want me to do the wheel
I got
tonight?
You got the
my
wheel
God,
dialed
got
up?
the wheel? Dude, I am surprised he doesn't have the flag, the OPN banner behind him. I swear to God.
I
Oh,
don't do that anymore. I don't have it.
And a flashing ticker tape that says Sunday night, 9 p.m.
What, you saying you don't like it?
Wait a minute. How come I can't mute anybody? I can't mute anybody on this
Got
one.
no authority,
No authority. It's gone.
zero authority, not even a wrench.
Let it rip, David. There it is.
I mean, even Rip Man has a wrench. Where are you at, David? Jeez Louise.
The lowest man on this totem pole.
Oh man, yeah. So
funny.
the guy blows it, and more than the fact that he put himself at risk, he puts the sport at risk. I mean, what are you going to do once you fly in there and deliver your message? And people are just going to be mad at you. There might be one or two people that are like, "Oh, that was great." I mean, people got their phones out. Obviously, you're going to be on TV, but man, he almost went on TV in the worst way. Can you imagine if he wouldn't have been able to fix that and it went into a gnarly cravat or something and he just pounded in right there in front of everybody? I mean, just a
or
horrible
the fact
story.
if he would have hit lower instead of his cage actually hitting that wire and his glider
Right.
hit that wire, ripped the glider in half, and he just
Yeah.
drops out of the sky. That
Yep.
could have been a very, very serious thing.
There was a guy back in the day, I can't remember his name, but he used to fly into random places. One time, he flew into a very high profile boxing match.
That is the Holyfield match. That was
Yes,
Holyfield at Caesar's Palace.
they
Yep.
were not happy with this guy. And I don't even know
Were
why
they-
he
did
did
they
it. He
take
was
his
just doing it
cage
for
apart?
attention.
There was one that I saw where a guy dropped into a wrestling match or some crap like that, and the crowd went nuts and they started
that was
ripping the
it.
paramotor apart, like literally
was
like
it.
taking the cage apart and like
That was
picking
it.
the guy up and beating the crap out of him. I was like, oh wow.
I don't know if we can share that video, but you can
Did
look
you
it
know-
up.
Did you know, Robert, that Jeff Boyne reenacted it? Did you know about this?
I think I saw some.
And Jeff was telling me this at Bad Apples. We were talking about it, and he said that
When he did it for Discovery.
it was for Discovery, and when he reenacted it, like he did it on the first try. He was able to land inside of the ring and stop before he got to the last rope.
I remember
they were-
seeing that.
And they were
was
bummed out
awesome.
about it. Yeah, they were bummed out about it because it was like anti-dramatic. Like, can you do that again and like not make it the first time? That's how good
Like
Jeff
fall.
is. Yeah. So, yeah,
Oh,
that was the
man.
Holyfield fight. That's what I was when I saw that soccer. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. So the guy obviously doesn't have a whole lot of sense. He's passionate about something, but whatever. But I do want to mention that there's going to be some times where you're going to think about doing some crazy stuff. You get a little comfortable, you get a little cozy on your motor, and you think you can do anything you want. And man, that's where you get bit. And I want to mention this. Hey, Kent Stamey donated $10 super chat. Thank you, Kent. Appreciate that. When we talk about flying low in areas where you haven't flown before, power lines, they are lurking in the shadows. And free flying, I'm always very conscious of where I'm flying. And so I already kind of know, hey, there's not going to be, I'm not always thinking about it. But when you're on a motor, you get into this zone. And I don't know if you guys listen to music. I listen to music sometimes when I'm flying, and I'm just jamming along, and I'm usually following Per Gringo somewhere, and we're just kind of jamming along. You have to really be focused on wires all the times when you're flying low. I'm flying a wing that Ross Gasaway left here when he. I gotta
Always
give
have
him
your
some
eyes
money.
open for poles. Look for poles. That
Yeah.
is going to be the definitive. You're going to see that wire if you see poles. But yeah, I agree with you, Robert. Those wires are hard to see, and when you're up in the air, it looks different than when you're on the ground and you're looking up at the wire.
And they also
know?
these activists here in Southern California have painted them green. Seen that, Gringo?
Camouflage. Where we fly in the valley a lot. So one indicator, obviously you want to look, they kind of tend to run parallel to the road, But sometimes where we fly out in rolling hills with cows and stuff, and there's a telephone wire or something going across it and you don't see it. So you're looking for poles, but it's going to cross your path one of these days, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a couple places where our little trip that we call surf and turf. There's a couple areas when you see some random poles. There's no wires, but there's some random poles down in the bottom, and I'm always like, oh gosh, where is it? Where's the wire? And I usually just hit the gas and get up. If you're questioning whether or not there's a wire, just treat it like it's there.
Yeah.
Even if you can't see it.
Bring
I
your
wear a-
descent down in steps. Come down, do a flyby, go a little bit lower because those things are invisible.
Yeah.
And that even comes with areas that you've flown before, because the territories can change, and all the time, you know, it may be a couple weeks, maybe, you know, a couple months since you've been to that particular area. You get down in an area where you're used to getting down at, and there's a wire right there, you know?
Yeah. Something else I thought about recently was those triple barbed wire fences. They're a little bit easier to see, but still pretty
There goes your
invisible.
foot drag.
Yeah, that'll ruin your day.
Yeah. So
Even
yeah,
for
where we
one.
fly. So I'll tell you a little bit on Sean's point there. Even though we fly that river valley, we've probably flown it, I don't know, at least 100, 200 times, couple hundred times. Probably a couple of weeks ago, we were flying early morning, and you had some broken clouds at about 1,800 feet, and we fly at around 300 feet MSL. And we know the route, we know where the wires are, but like what Sean was saying, even though you know it, we had the sun kind of coming up in the morning, coming into our eyes. So we knew it was around that area, but you could not see the wires until you got really, really close. So yeah.
It's kind of terrifying to think what will happen if you wrap your wing into the lines, or if you hit it directly like the guy did in this video. And you know, this guy, let's say he has a hard landing, blows up his motor, that thing's all beat up, he's beat up, he had a butt landing, it looked like he didn't even get hurt at all, but at least he was in the middle of a bunch of people. There's probably paramedics right there, and they would have been able to work on him. But you'd hit a wire out in the middle of nowhere, and you're hanging somewhere where you're out there and all you've got is your friends on maybe on radio, or somebody that may have saw you. You know what? Something I noticed also is that when you're flying paramotors, you're not always with a buddy. You might just go, I'm going to go and check this out over here, and your buddy may not necessarily want to go with you. And I noticed that with how much air, you know, once you're about a mile apart, forget it. You're not going to see each other. And I mean, I don't know how many times, Gringo, that we're like, hey, where'd you go? There's like 8 of us, you know, where'd you go? I'm over here. And oh gosh, that's far away. Something I'm trying to do all the time is I'm free flight guy. I'm always counting especially when I'm free flying. I put, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because that one guy that's missing is going to be in your blind spot, and you might turn into him. Clear your turns. You learn that in school, right?
And you know, Robert, the thing about that is that wow, I just lost track of thought there for a second. Bam, that quick, just because I looked away from the chat for a second.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
That's on right. So that is actually the minimal situation. That is the actual safest situation, is for you to be dangling from that wire. What people aren't really necessarily thinking of is when they're grounded out by that wire, which means they touch the ground and they are touching the wire, which means that you've got voltage running through you, so much so that depending on the line, you're looking at 15,000 volts per line. So if you run across a 3-phase, that's 15,000 volts running through your body that is going to come out somewhere. Not fun. At that point, you would not be able to get on a radio because you'll be in shock, because parts of your body are blown out. Literally, your guts, your kidneys, bad, not fun.
Sean, how lucky was that guy at Bad Apples? The one that, did you see the guy that flew?
Oh yeah, yes, severely lucky, severely. I saw the glider hanging there, and I was like, I hope they didn't ground out because it was so close.
And I heard he just jumped right out of the harness. Well, go ahead and why don't you tell us what happened?
Yeah, I never heard about this.
I didn't see it. I saw I know they shut the power down. I saw the glider hanging there in the wire, and I'm like, oh, I hope that didn't end as badly as I think that it could have, which fortunately they didn't get shocked. I don't know.
No, you know. Don, did you see it?
I just saw the glider hanging there. He didn't get shocked.
Yeah, he was extremely lucky because that wire was pretty low.
So from what I understand, he was a new pilot. He was trying to show off for friends or family, and he missed the wire at the west end of the, or he found the wire, I should say, at the west end of the field, right before, like, I think there's a street that he just comes across, and then you're onto the field. And he went right into it, and I guess he was low enough to the ground where he could just jump right out of his harness, which can't believe he even tried to do that.
That's Ross Gasaway had the same situation.
Yeah,
Actually, I have that wing. Yeah, I have that wing in my garage. That's the one I'm flying.
What wing is it?
You got it repaired. It's Sirocco 2.
Oh, nice.
I had 2 close calls early on, and I just decided that if it's a field I'm not familiar with, I'm gonna stay a little higher than the wires and get to know it before I drop in. Because both of those times I thought, I was going right into the wires, and thank God I was able to. One I went over, and one I was able to turn away from. So
I do that every flight. It doesn't matter where I'm at. First thing I do is get up really, really high, probably 2,500 feet. Look, check out the area, see what's below me, what's in front of me, and what's around me, and then start coming down gradually. So that way I can really absorb the environment, what's around. For like rotor, wires, barbed wire, outs, things like that. You need to have outs. It's important.
You have to have the safety margins like that and maintain the safety margins. Otherwise, you're just looking for trouble.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's talk about, and we're going to bring up the people that disregard common sense, and I'm honest. I every once in a while disregard common sense. What do? You look and it's too late. The line's right there.
Stop pointing at me, Anthony Peregringo. Stop pointing at me.
What were you saying? What were you going to say, Gringo?
It sounded like you were segueing into something, and I wanted to share something that happened last week. So, but it wasn't. It doesn't have to do with power lines or wires. It actually they are integrated in there, but it doesn't matter how experienced we are, Robert, right? We know somebody very well that's been doing it a long time, and there's hiccups that happen to us. And so for me was last Saturday, I fly with a 5-gallon tank, and I don't always fill it up, but I know I judge it, and I know we're taking off. We're always flying 2 to 2.5 hour flight. So I should get, I know how far I can get, how much time and so forth. On this occasion, I actually filled it a little more than I usually do. And we went a different route and changed things up. And even though at the 2-hour mark, I looked at my watch and looked at the clock on the gauge and so forth. And I even took out my phone and video recorded my gas tank. And I looked at it and I'm like, wow, okay, so I'm pretty good. And one of our guys said, oh, hey, I'm going back. And I wanted to go check out Nichols Field. That's where they do the skydiving and so forth. And on my way there, I get distracted by, we're 5 minutes from the Tijuana Mexican border, right? So we've got immigration, the white trucks with the green stripes on there, and they're always chasing people. We're seeing them catch 10, 15 immigrants and so forth, and pretty amazing stuff. But one of them was whipping down the road. He pulls over and jumps out of his car and goes running down right along the edge of the lake. And I turn around, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll help spot this guy for him, And he just kept, he went really far. So I kept going back and forth, looking for maybe who he's chasing and so forth, knowing that, all right, I've got some time, I'm okay, but I kind of helping this guy out. Finally, I go, I can't stay here all day. So I go on. And then of course, I'm flying not more than, quarter mile away. It's like squirrel. And there's like a car wreck rolled off the road and the police are there and people are standing out and I'm circling around and, so it's one thing after the other. Finally, I'm like, okay, I got to head back. And I beelined it. And it was fortunately we went up, I'm going high and so forth, trying to keep my altitude. And we go over this freeway and there's a ridge there that's not more than a mile from our LZ. And I kind of start to go along the ridge and I feel a little hiccup in my throttle. And I'm like, did I let off on it? And about 10 seconds later, boom.
Oh no.
That was it. So I was probably about 100 feet, 50 feet above the ridge line in that valley. And so all I did was I looked down and it's in the valley, it's shrubs and trees and bushes. It's everywhere's landable, but you're gonna get scraped up or whatever. And then to the right, there's this little BMX dirt track and then another open area. So I just hung a right. And when I looked over, about 150 yards over to the right, one of my other co-friends, pilots, are flying along, and he's just coming over the freeway, and he's coming down low. And we are on a path. And I'm like, okay, I need to get to the spot right behind him, in front of him. And I got to time this right because your glide, right? You're judging your glide. I've got two obstacles. I got him and I've got the phone lines that are up. And so those are up, about 50, 75 feet, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, as long as this guy just holds his path, I don't have to rethink my pattern and so forth. And he's got to be looking at me going, what are you doing, dude? You're coming right at me. What are you going to do? He always, he kind of knows I joke with him a little bit, but he was, he held his path and he held his line. And I literally came right behind. My point was to get as close as I can to the back of his and just glide in. Once I cleared him, I went over the lines. If it wasn't enough, I would have pulled hard right or pulled hard left and landed short of the lines and just dealt with the shrubs. But it landed perfectly. It landed and all safe and all
what
that.
was it? Ran out of gas?
Five gallons and he's out of gas.
No, it was a 5-gallon tank, and that was that.
I'm just saying.
I got a 5-gallon tank, so I would never have to worry. The tank I had before was 9 liters, and it was like I was always running out of gas. And
first world issues.
Right? And finally on this one, I'm like, all right, enough's enough. I know my line now, and you're gonna push it. I don't think I really felt like I wasn't pushing it because I topped it off even more. But it caught up to you. So
David Wolf,
experience or not,
does that little I'm asking a question, David, did that little system that you put on, was it good, bad?
It's kind of not on my system right now. That's from Paraswag, because with me taking my motor on and off of the trike, it keeps popping the sensors off. So right now I just have it off at the moment.
That's what I was.
Yeah, it worked really nicely though. It does work nicely.
It worked like once.
No, I mean it worked a couple of times till it kept popping off. And
I'm just glad you're being honest, because I saw it and I was like, man, I can't imagine that's going to last very long. Especially, I'm kind of hard on my stuff, so.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're not, I mean, if I'm not in a situation where I'm taking off the motor, taking it off of the trike all the time where it's bumping stuff, it'd stay on. It's pretty good. And Mark George, I know he uses his, I mean, he sells it, but he uses his and he loves it. And a lot of people love it. From what
I've been using the selfie method where you take your phone out and you take a picture of your gas tank.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's not a very good method because
I think knowing your burn rate, though, knowing your burn rate is key.
Well, you got to know what the burn rate is after that last sensor, right? So you had 3 sensors.
Yeah.
The last one, you got to know, do I have 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Or
that was about the 10-minute mark left. So even when it goes to red, I know I've got about 30 minutes left. That's kind of where I set it. But he even said even lower. But I like spacing it out. But I mean, I know that on my tank with my body weight, I'm getting about 15 minutes to the liter. So I know where I'm at. And every time I land, I check it. What do you got?
That's the interesting thing. I ran out of gas one time, and I got footage of it, which was pretty awesome, and I had it out. It was the first 2 rows of corn. It was beautiful.
You landed in the corn. I remember.
I landed in the corn, and I avoided the fence, and I was good. My gear was good. Everything was good. But Yeah, it's very easy to do. I fly generally with just a gallon just to keep it light because I have 2 gallons on my back. That, with the motor and everything, that's a third of my weight, And then that does tend to get taxing when you're standing out there warming the motor up. You got to glide, you're hooked into the glider and you're waiting on the wind. Like, okay, is there going to be wind? Is there not going to be wind? Okay, forward launch it is. Dog can run, I called it, but the 5-minute mark before I absolutely ran out of gas, I was like, I should bring this back in because it's starting to run like I'm about out of gas. 5 minutes later, I was out of gas. So I was able to kind of call it and judge it off of that half gallon that I had in there. But yeah.
Jim Reeves, you have any close calls yet?
For gas? No. I think that last little picture I showed you, I was like, it was getting low. It's like, okay, I'm done. I'll go back. I land, refuel, and go again. No, I've had the opposite of close calls. I've had more overweight landings. I filled up. I had a 5-gallon tank. I went out and did a cross country. I was out for 2 hours, 15 minutes, came back, and I still had, an hour and a half or maybe 2 of gas in there.
You light guys, you little guys, man.
It's that 30-minute mark. Let's spin the wheel.
Who's calling who light?
Oh my God. I'm 245 pounds, man. I burned on a Moser 185. I burned that fuel.
I'm 220.
When I had my Adam,
my life. Wow.
When I had my Adam 80, I swore that I had more fuel after I landed than I did before I started. It felt like it just kept making fuel while I was up there.
You know what? I believe you, David, because we fly with Matthew Pesci, and he's by your size. He flies an Adam 80, and that guy's tank he comes back after our 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and he's still got a half a tank, and it's just it's crazy how efficient it is.
Yep.
I found that I can get about an hour off of a gallon with my Moster 185. I can get up to an hour. That's using the motor. If I'm thermaling and stuff, it's a little bit longer than that. But generally, I can only keep my attention for little short spans. So, yeah, an hour, I'm pretty good. I usually don't fill my tank completely full. Sometimes, not very often. But no more names. I've got all the names in here. I'm going to share my screen here.
M. Kurz, before you said that, M. Kurz said, add me to the wheel.
Already in there. I'm on it.
Good.
See, that's why I said no more names. Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
All
you
right.
guys know what you're gonna.
It.
What's David Wolf giving away?
Hey, this is my show. How about a paramotor?
No,
how
I'm
about
just
a
kidding.
Paramotor Nation sticker?
No, you don't get any stickers. Paramotor Nation stickers. I do have one.
That was a good spin too. I was giving
go
David time to come up with something.
No, I've got a quart of Amsoil. I hope you're a paramotor pilot.
Wait. Would that suck if David gave away the gifts that he gets from his sponsor on your show tonight?
That would be hilarious. Come on. Oh, it's gonna be Walter. It's gonna be Walter.
No, it's me.
M. Kurz.
No way.
Late
arrival.
It's right.
I don't know. I think Craig Couch might get this one.
Robert Michaels.
Come on, keep going.
What?
Go.
Ouch.
Come on, keep rolling. Keep rolling.
He doesn't have to give it away.
Michaels. Hey,
Get to keep that.
This is completely random, y'all.
Thanks, Sean.
This is all completely random, y'all. You want
Mom
me to
just
spend
donated
another?
$10 to the super chat. Thank you, Mom.
You want me to spend another?
For what? No way.
For something else. We gotta
It's the first time Robert won anything.
Yeah,
I know.
Good man. Thank you.
Making money.
I was just thinking we got to keep glued to the screen, if we maybe,
Look at this. Rip. I got this for my kids.
Nice.
Isn't that cool? I don't know where they got it, but
Do you ride? Do you even ride, bro?
do you ride, bro? Ripman, he's been taking it easy, man. He rides in the air.
Right.
He doesn't need to cruise on the bike. He cruises the air. Go ahead and spin the wheel again, Sean. We gotta get some.
All right, we're gonna spin it again here. I'm trying not to give away too many of my secrets because I know David Wolf's trying to figure out how exactly I do this.
Robert,
I got
you ready? I got a T-shirt here from
Mike Cotter.
Yeah, from both shows.
Love Mike Cotter.
Let's do that.
Oh.
How about that? I got a Fly My PPG t-shirt. Cool.
I don't know what happened.
My PPG T-shirt. Okay, hey, the wheel's spinning here. So fly my PPG T-shirt from David Wolf.
I don't know what happened. Mike Cotter
Who's
used to
gonna
love
win
me. No, he doesn't call me anymore.
He's busy training.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
very
know.
busy.
Long days.
What's my name? Oh, it just passed me.
Yep,
Who's
no,
it
you're
gonna
not going to win.
be?
Oh, wow.
While that's still spinning, real quick shout out to
Oh my
Aaron
God.
Michaels for bringing the goods to the office. Thank you, Aaron, for the peanut butter cookies. I don't know why you
Yeah.
deleted that message.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
Oh,
why did you
man.
delete it?
You see me
M. Kurz
giggling?
again.
Oh, no,
I know.
Oh, M. Kurz made it.
Oh,
Yep.
so
It is M.
close,
Kurz.
it? M. Kurz.
Yeah,
Do we know M.
100%.
Kurz? Are they new?
Look how
That's-
Oh, he's been around.
Has he?
M. Kurz. So, M. Kurz, since we're not for sure if you have a motor or if you need, maybe you just have a weed whacker, I'm going to tell you, synthetic Amsoil Saber. It is amazing.
That's what I use. That stuff burns so clean.
Super clean. We're going to probably do a show and talk about that. It's in the works. I'm trying to get a guy who runs an oil supply stuff for race cars right here. It's not Amsoil, it's another company, but he really knows his stuff. I'm in emails right now with him, try to get him to come on the show. He's a Jeff Hammond friend.
Does
And thank you,
anybody?
David Wolf, for donating that shirt.
Yeah, just let me know where to send it.
Oh no, that's not who I'm giving Amsoil to M. Kurz. You want to spin the wheel again? We can do it.
Okay, well then let's
Yeah.
spin the wheel again. Okay,
Yeah, we'll do it.
this.
Do it
We're gonna
again.
do, we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do
fine.
this spin. Yeah, we're gonna do this
Spin
spin.
it.
No, we're
That's
gonna
really
do this.
kind of you, David.
Absolutely, but I got
Very nice.
that's it because he's a sponsor for both shows.
Are we
Him and
ready?
Dustin.
Yeah. That's
So why
right.
not?
Okay, we're
Why not?
spinning. There we go. We're spinning.
I got a question though, Robert. While it's spinning here, has anybody ever tested Amsoil versus Motul 800 on a motor?
Yes.
Really?
That's the show that we're going to dial up.
That's
Don't tell
awesome.
nobody else.
Yes.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
motor likes Amsoil.
Rippa, make a note of that real quick.
Get it out a week before he does.
Yeah.
We got
One
a
of the
couple
local-
guys that have done that locally here.
Yeah,
so,
a couple of local
yeah.
guys.
That's cool.
Actually,
Very cool.
I don't know if we can get. We're not going to name him. We'll see if we can get him to actually come on the show for that episode.
That's sweet. Sean
That'd be
Natsker. Ah,
Oh,
By the way,
Kyle
this,
Mooney. It's gonna be Kyle Mooney.
this show is brought to you by a local plumbing company called American Allied Drains and Plumbing. If you're in the San Diego area, it's going to be DP.
Oh, Kelby.
I didn't even know DP was in
DP.
the DP.
DP.
Oh, it's close.
Wow, that was on the line. DP, congratulations. Winner, chicken dinner.
Congratulations, David
DP
Perry.
just got training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
I was
awesome.
there for that. It was pretty
Oh, you
awesome.
got to see it.
Yep.
No kidding. Yeah,
So-
I sent him an invite. I'm not sure why he hasn't jumped on yet.
David Perry just Facebook messaged me your size and your address, and I'll send it out to you. Kelby Cox almost won. Kelby's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Kelby.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Kelby.
Kelby.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so M. Kurz, please message me using the website paraglidingtalk.com, and I will get you your motor oil. It is
Sweet.
it's amazing. Yeah. If you don't want that and you want a paraglidingtalk.com t-shirt, it looks just like the one that David has.
Mhm.
I needed you to say something right there. So the screen
Right now, look at this shirt. I'll take the shirt off my back and send it to you, M. Kurz.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, paraglidingtalk.com/contact, and then tell me either what size shirt you wear or if you want some Amsoil Saber.
DP getting some training was a really good deal for me because I got to meet him. Not only did I get to meet him, I got to meet the people that was training him, and a couple other people that wanted to see him didn't care about me. They came to see him, and I got to see them. And also John Rippa, Ripman riding.
Who invited you to the beach? Don't forget that.
Was leading, getting up to that. Never trusted skinny Chef Shane. He came out to see DP, not me, but it's okay. I got to meet him. And then John Rippa, he's saying, like, you know, ought to come to the beach one of these days. And so we made it happen.
You guys are like celebrities. I don't know what I'm going to do when I finally get to go to a flying with you guys. I can't wait.
He's going to
I
be
have a
shaking
motor now, so I
everybody's
can do
hand
it.
and being all fanboy. Like, I've been watching your videos for years.
I'm serious, man.
That's the way I was with Red Man. Red Man got me a coffee pot. I'm like, you're my buddy. Anytime you want a cup of coffee, I got you.
I know that story.
Sean's addicted to coffee bad. We should have an intervention.
Love it. I love it. It loves me.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I want to talk a little bit about some free flying. I know a lot of you guys are interested in getting into free flying. Paragringo, he recently, we invited him to come to Blossom. So he flew Blossom. He had a little malfunction, but we're going to get him back up there again. We waited until the glass off. It was windy. It was chaotic. And he manned up and pulled his wing up, and he can kite pretty good. So he didn't have a problem launching, but he wasn't prepared for his harness. It's too tight. He didn't make any adjustments. He didn't do a hang check. So lesson learned, didn't do a hang check before you always do a hang check before you fly. I offered. Yeah, I got him muted on purpose.
Yeah.
I offered.
Hang check and select your instructors wisely.
See, there he goes.
Robert,
for
did
the
he get
guts.
off?
He did.
Randy's in the chat.
He did.
Good.
No, Randy was great. He actually helped. He saved my butt. All I remember is when I couldn't make the bailout, my eye level was like this, and I'm going down this way, and I'm eye level, and it's still 100 yards away. All I hear is Randy Clark echo, "Go for the trail. Go for the trail." I went for the trail.
Mark Monroe donated $20. Thank you, sir.
It's hard to land when you're free flying. You don't have that motor to get you up a little more. You got one little chance at your brakes.
Were you doing that
or something? But
were you doing that a little bit,
dude? I probably was, and I didn't even know. Like,
that's when you know you're spoiled. That's when you know you're spoiled, because you're so used to that cheater.
Did my Peter Ozzie throttle break again?
Come on, thermal. Come on, thermal.
But it's difficult because the hill goes this way and you glide this way, so you never make it.
He's a little red right now, but listen, don't be too hard on yourself. That was nothing.
That was a long hike.
You learned. You're fine, and you did fine. But I do want to mention the pros and cons about summer flying. So not just with paramotors, or not just with free flying, but paramotors also. There's a few things. So we can talk about the pros real quick. One, strong days, right? Good strong days. A lot of energy in the air, and a lot of good strong thermals. And then one of the other pros is you get these long evening glass offs. Do you paramotor guys know what a glass off is?
Oh yeah. We
might
get it
be
even in Ohio about 6:30.
You don't count. You're bilingual.
About 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening, the sun's hitting that one spot where it just no wind, no nothing, just sit still and just butter.
Okay, now you're close, but with free flying, we say the glass off is when everything's lifting. Your everything is going up. So everywhere you go, it's like a giant smooth thermal, and you get
so it's kind of like the 4 o'clock hour.
25 minutes. Here it's after 5 o'clock usually in the summer.
Yeah. Hang glider pilots use that a lot. They call it the 4 o'clock hour, where at 4 o'clock, if you watch the weather, that's what it's likely to do the rest of the evening.
The peak.
And whether it's going to be, buoyant, or if it, it's going to just ease off, and just like what I term glass off is no wind at all. But like Robert's saying, with the free flight aspect, yes, I can see that in free flight.
Yeah. DP, he just made it in.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Hey, look at that. Craig Taylor, miss y'all. Sport Resurgence PPG, donate $50 to Super Chat. Thanks, Craig.
Nice.
Miss you, man. I know you've been busy.
Yeah, much love, buddy.
He would sometimes just be on here just falling asleep. You could see him in the
He's always like that, though.
He's a hustler, man. That's why.
He works hard.
Yeah. That's what happens when you work hard. DP, glad you made it, man. How you doing over there?
Doing great. Actually, just left the airport. Tom Kubat invited me out tonight, so I went and did a little kiting and watched him and another fellow by the name of Andy Bean rip around. and I'm just waiting for my gear. They actually had an extra motor because Tom just got the factory R and unboxed it tonight.
Oh, nice.
And so he had an extra motor, and I was like very tempted to fly, but I didn't want to risk on somebody else's gear.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, that blew his
Yeah.
premiere up.
he's like, yeah, you can take the factory R up. I'm like, sure.
Oh, and let me point
Wow.
this out, okay? David Perry still has the new pilot smile. Look at him. Look at him. The new pilot smile. You can tell.
Yeah,
You
he's
can,
got
you
the
just
good-
tell
He had that
somebody's
before
gotten
he
in the
even
air
got in the
once.
air.
It's a pow.
He had that before he got in the air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of did, but yeah, I think it's a little wider now.
See that? You go and get training at Aviator, you hang out with celebrities. That should be his t-shirt, you know?
Well, I went to One Up, but Aviator was there and in full force, so I did get to meet one of my favorite celebrities, Mr. Reeves, as well as Mr. Ripa, which was really nice. So
Nice.
yeah.
Heck yeah. By the way, I have to mention this sponsor. I got interrupted by the spinning wheel of Winnie things. American Allied Drains and Plumbing. Their phone number is 844-777-9055. And if you're in San Diego, you mentioned Paragliding Talk, you get a 10% discount on their services. And who knows? I mean, 10% can be a lot if you got a big problem. So check out American Allied Drains and Plumbing. Also, the show is brought to you by Nebraska PPG, Josh Bowden. He's got a school in Nebraska. If you're trying to get some training, sign up with him today. He's got an awesome place to train. Also, the show is brought to you by iFly Indiana Powered Paragliding. So if you're interested in flying paramotors, there's really no better place to get training than in iflyindiana.com. Kevin and his team will get your feet off the ground. That's iflyindiana.com. I want to mention also the show is brought to you by Lone Star Paramotor. If you're in the Lone Star State of Texas, you reach out to Ron Turan and his team for world-class training. Their website is lonestarparamotor.com. Yes, sir.
Todd Yankee Paramotor wants to talk about it. So let's talk about new specific spot training.
Yeah, so I want to just finish off talking about the pros and cons. I saw that, and thank you for posting those. By the way, you guys don't know, the moderators are putting your comments in the little separate, so they're separating those comments. So your questions and comments are not ignored. Usually it's just we don't get to it because I'm talking too much.
Somebody's asking questions, really.
Yeah, pros and cons. Here we go. Pros for the other thing was the winds are usually pretty good during the summer. So let's talk about the cons. One thing that you need to remember, especially free flight, if you land out, you're going to need some water. And if you're going to be hiking, and I had an episode last year, you probably saw, I landed in the middle of the desert and I ran out of water right when I got to the truck. So I was fine. Everything was good. It was like 100 degrees in the valley. And we flew from Laguna, big boy flying. We were trying to do some big stuff. Anyways, lots of water. Also, you have to worry about dangerous overdevelopment. And if you don't know anything about overdevelopment, I think you should consider it also as a paramotor guy, just especially if you're going to fly under clouds and different things. I saw a video the other day, some guys in Colombia, and they're chasing these clouds, and these guys end up in the White Room, and he's got a GoPro, and he shared a little segment of his life in that moment, and it looked terrifying. And I'm not interested. So consider your weather before you go flying, and for the possibility of overdevelopment. And if you don't know what to look for, I encourage you to do some research and figure out what the day might look like on a day where you might see some overdevelopment, especially if you're free flying, because we use that stuff to get where we're going. I've never experienced going into overdevelopment stuff, but they have a phenomenon. If you're not familiar, they have a phenomenon. It's called cloud suck. You guys heard of this? Paramotor guys, you heard of this?
Yep, absolutely.
So cloud suck's no joke. I'll give you an example. One of our guests on the show, actually, he was in a 2,000 foot per minute climb.
Oh my gosh.
That we did some math on that, and he was going 34 miles an hour up. So that's just to give you an idea of what kind of thermal that was. And it did
That's
OD.
pretty much full throttle for me.
Yeah, that's
No,
full
really.
throttle.
I get
with
full
your,
throttle. Yeah.
Trimmers
I
out.
I get full
speed
throttle.
bar.
No, with the trims in and just giving full throttle. That's
what
that's
does
pretty much my
what does
claim.
that equate to gas savings? That's what I want to know.
Well, you get up there, then you just let it the rest of the time.
Yeah. So cloud suck's no joke. And why is it important that you don't get into cloud suck? Well, I'll tell you, some of those thunderheads can get up into the 40 and 60,000 feet above sea level mark. You're going to probably die.
Not to mention the temperatures.
Well, then you talk about hail, thunder, and lightning. You're talking about potential. I mean, obviously, you're going to be taking collapses and weird stuff. So anyways, consider those things getting out. So other cons, anything else that you guys want to think about? There's a lot of other things that we need to be paying attention to as we go into the summer months. Obviously, your gear, damage to your gear just setting out. Not so much here in Southern California, but Arizona guys, you got to be covering up your wing. Don't just leave your wing in the sun. Ozone would probably be mad at me for advertising that because they like your stuff to degrade so you can buy some new stuff. But I have a blanket, a moving blanket that I bring with me to Tori because I'm always talking to people. Everybody wants to hang out, and I love it. So I'll try to remember to bring that, cover up my gear when I'm just chilling. Rip man, you got your P3 now, bro. San Diego's calling.
Something I was going to mention. Something I was going to mention on that topic, what you were talking about there, Robert, about for paramotor guys and free flight guys. And I'm sorry, Rip man, I don't mean to cut you off there, buddy. Give me just 1 second here. Usually the free flight guys, they want thermals to get altitude, whereas the motor guys, we want no air. So generally we're like, mornings, evenings, late, when the thermal activity has died down, because thermals can be rather dangerous with a motor, in and out of thermals, boom, 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 you get areas of lift, areas of sink, part of your wing is getting swatted. A lot of times rules, if you pay attention to the weather, and maybe David, maybe you've run across this too. If you pay attention to the weather and you see the temperatures for the hours, how the span is.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 68 degrees and it's going to be 75 degrees in an hour. It's going to change that much. Usually about 5 to 8 degrees. Generally, that means there's going to be a lot of lift at that time, and it's going to be very rowdy and just very gnarly, you know?
Lapse rate.
Yeah. Have you noticed that, David?
Absolutely have. And of course, when you get down to the field, you throw out your windsock there, and it's going to show you that as well. I use Ryan Carlton a lot, which is actually was going to lead me to a question I wanted to ask you, Robert. Because I was flying, we flew a good distance last night from one place to an airport and then back, and I was in some rowdy air, and I was thinking, I'm just going to pull up my Ryan Carlton while I'm flying here and find out where's the fastest tailwind. Is there an app that you use to kind of tell you what altitude to go to or try to get to?
You wouldn't believe it. How many apps I have for weather. It's an obsession. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different apps.
And you check them routinely, all of them.
So they all serve a different purpose. So it depends on, there's some that I check before, there's some that I check a day before, there's some that I'm looking now, like active where I'm at. There's one where I'm checking the wind with a machine that plugs into my phone. By the way, I want to mention this real quick. Hot Buttered Steve, he donated $10 to the super chat. He said, "Take my money," and so I did. Hot Buttered Steve, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that's the first time I've seen you here, so welcome. Welcome. Absolutely.
Yeah, Hot Buttered Steve's been in here quite a many times, Robert. You haven't noticed.
With that same face?
You usually see him on the other show.
Okay. David maybe brought him.
It's all the same people on this show. They just migrate over to the other show. Just, you're not getting any new sponsors here.
Ripman was saying that he got a new wing or something. Is that what's going on, Rip? Free flying wing?
I got some new gear coming, that's all.
What do you got
I
coming?
got a pod harness coming and a new glider. I got a sea glider. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Whoa! Are you serious?
Oh, stop it.
What are you getting?
You're going to see it in an unboxing video.
I bet
You're
it's
gonna
going to be
see
good.
it.
I bet it's going to be real good because everything Ribbit gets is really, really good, and it's
You'll
good
It's
stuff.
not an Alpina 4. I want an Alpina 4, but I'm not paying those astronomical prices.
Starts with a D, ends with Elta.
No, it's not an Ozone.
Oh, okay.
Does that
really
make
like
what,
those.
12, 12
The prices
gliders
are
in there?
crazy. The prices are crazy on gliders. It's nuts.
They are, but it's for a reason.
Well, it can be
Ozone's
whatever
really
reason
good.
you want. I'm not paying those exorbitant prices.
Yeah, Ozone is very good.
Hey, somebody has to pay for the monkeys and the bananas to feed the monkeys, to go up there and to do everything that they do on those monkey contraptions to make that glider safe for you, my friend. It's
So
okay.
there is a app that I use called XC Skies. Now you have to pay for this. Okay, it's $40 a year. Don't be so cheap.
A
Okay?
subscription.
You have to pay a subscription, or you can just ask your friends for a password.
If I'm not mistaken, Yank and I heard that's called XC Lies.
XC Lies, yeah. Yeah, you pair weight enough and you start to despise it. No,
In some
there
areas,
is
Indy's bad too.
Oh my
Wendy.
gosh, my wife. she's
Wendy doesn't
donated
work.
$10 to the super chat.
Oh my
Out in
God.
Ohio,
She's
where I'm at.
She's
Hey,
great.
all right.
Give her the bell. So is that the one that you use to answer the question?
So yes, that is what I use the most because it is the most accurate. And there's things, gosh, man, there's a lot of things that you need to consider. One is that once you pay for something, you use it. The free ones, you may haphazardly use it, but the XT Skies, I'm like, well, I paid for that. I have to use it. So I learned how to use it well. And there's still a plethora of things that I can learn using that app. And I would really like to have like the most expert person on the show to talk about XC Skies, but I don't know who runs XC Skies, and I don't know. I guess we could do a little research and figure it out. Maybe you guys.
John and I were actually
message me.
talking about doing a show just on what apps do you use. So John, maybe Robert would be the person to bring on for that show.
Sure.
I'll do it.
Have a paragliding and a paramotoring guest on that show. That'd be good because
Yeah, the
great
weather
topic.
thing is such a critical thing. I mean, especially for free flying guys, but it's such a critical thing for both of us. Yeah. I really like Windy. Windy's really good.
Wendy doesn't work for me in Ohio. It's just total poo-poo, never right.
That's what I thought too, Sean. But I think John was saying Windy was what he likes to use.
So there's two Windy apps, just so you know. You got to make sure you got the right one. The one with the red icon.
I
Yeah.
probably got the
Yeah, it's
poo-poo
this
one
one.
because it's never right.
Yeah, that's the right one, Robert.
So
that's correct.
this is
I had the other one for years and I hated it.
Which
Yeah.
one is that, Robert? Because I see a lot of icons on that thingy.
It's the red one.
yeah the red
Oh, the swoosh. Okay,
Yeah.
there.
I got
Windy.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out because I probably got the wrong one. I'm like, how could anybody go off of this thing? It's like it says 2-mile-an-hour breeze, and I'm looking out there, and it's like it's at least 18 mile an hour. I'm getting plucked off the ground, and I'm laying down on it to try to stay down. Like that, there's no way 2 mile an hour.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I'm getting I would say mature in the sport. I'm creeping up on 5 years.
Nice.
And what's happening is there's new pilots that are really gung-ho and they obsess on the weather and then they post it on their chat. And I'll tell you the chat, the local chat, if you have a local Telegram or whatever your Facebook chat or whatever, get involved with that now and start paying attention to the gurus. And then you find out who the gurus and the weather gurus, they love to tell everyone what the weather is going to be that day. They like to predict and they feel special. So I just let the gurus do their thing and then I just read their reports and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's not even worth flying today. And you obviously do your own research, but it's nice when the gurus they start posting all the details of all the sites because they did their homework. I don't have time for all that. I choose my site usually by about lunch. Gringo and I will both start checking stuff and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Blossom. Should be good.
If you're in that Telegraph group and it's all free flight guys, and you're the one paramotor guy, they love it. They love it when you tell them, you know.
Take selfies at 6 a.m. and post it. Everybody's still sleeping. We're like,
They
look
love
at
it.
that. We flew this morning.
I thought about free flying today, but I was reminded I have a motor. So
Do both. Wake up early, fly the motor in the afternoon, free fly. I mean,
yeah,
can't go wrong. I do have to mention 2 more sponsors, flytory.com. Flytory.com is the website. You want to fly Torrey Pines Gliderport, you got to just try it. And maybe you don't even have your P3 yet, and you still want to get a little training, and you can just throw them a few bucks. They'll get you on radio, and they'll teach you some stuff, and then you can fly there. It's amazing. Also, the show is brought to you by Resurgence PPG. Did you know that? I got a message from Amazon that over $450 went to Resurgence PPG based on what you buy. So, having that said, if you buy stuff on Amazon, you can go and select a charity. Now, you have to be diligent with this. Don't just go and scan the 4 charities that they want you to donate to. You have to select Resurgence PPG. So it'll give you an other option, and you choose Resurgence PPG. And so what happens is a small portion of the proceeds of their whatever you bought goes towards the charity, and pretty awesome.
That's via, just real quick note, that's via the Smiles at Amazon.
Yes.
So
That's right.
if you're on your regular one, you're logged in and you start to order some stuff. Right when you log in, and I think when you click on an order or something, it'll prompt you sometimes. It'll say, hey, do you want to go to Smiles? And just say yes. And then everything you're going to purchase will go on there. And I have a feeling David has a little bit more to add to this, which is good, right?
Will Fly.
Yeah, you're leaning in.
All right.
Will
So
Fly donated $5 to the super chat. Thank you, Will Fly. Ding.
want me to do the Craig Taylor part? Resurgence PPG.
Oh yeah, you got a cover for him.
All right, I got you, Craig, my buddy. So Resurgence PPG, helping adaptive veterans get up in the air. Todd actually just posted a video. He has enough in the bank right now to sponsor 4 candidates. And the great news he said too is we will, in the next 2 months, I think he said, we will have as many candidates this year as we did the previous year. So we're doing amazing things for Resurgence
That's
PPG.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Just great guys, great trainers. Can I give a shout out to your mom, Linda?
Absolutely.
Because
Your
Linda, your mom and my mom, both. Your mom and my mom called me and said, I just saw you on Right This Minute. And I was really excited. They were the only 2 people that called me to say that.
What is Right This Minute?
Right This Minute is the show. It's funny because the first time I was on it, Paragringo calls me from a cigar shop in San Diego going, the hell's going on? I'm watching you on my TV. That's when I went into the drink the first time back in September.
Oh,
and I just put out a video recently where I took a veteran up for an introductory flight on my tandem.
Oh, right.
And Right This Minute picked it up, and it was a great 2-minute video spot where it really just highlighted. They did exactly what I asked them to, which was highlight Resurgence PPG and bring it out to across the country. So
Nice.
I was really, really excited. And Linda called me or sent me a message, and I was really excited that she got to see
Wow,
that.
nationwide, huh? Just This Minute's nationwide?
Right This Minute. Yeah.
Right This Minute. Oh, that's super cool.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate it.
That is rad. Yeah, I do want to get my tandem. I'm just waiting for Max to get his certification stuff taken care of, and then I'm going to go get my tandem.
I'll go with you.
Yeah? You'll be a passenger? I need
burritos. Eat a lot of burritos.
Well, before I can
shoot
get signed
footage.
off, I've got to take I've got to take pilots.
You know the little tag that's on your keychain that says, remove before flight? It's going to say, check your fuel.
Yeah, check your fuel.
Check your fuel.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to the after show. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. Really appreciate all the supporters of the show on Patreon and PayPal. You guys are awesome. We're going to let this rip. Thank you guys for moderating. Jim Reeves, thank you for coming on the show. David Wolf, Ripman Riding. Sean, appreciate you. Anthony Peregringo, DP, I don't know where you went. I probably just need to switch my view here.
Yeah.
There we go. DP, drive safe, man. We're going to go to the after show. If you want to be a part of the after show, just put your credentials in the chat, and I'll send you an invite if you're a super chatter or a supporter on Patreon or PayPal. And we will catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. If I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in the air. So thanks for watching. Have a great night.